Get out of the way. Get out the way.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
Hi my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Akanksha. So today's video, you read the title already. It is eyeliner tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, whatever you want to call it. According to me, eyes like make or break a look. I mean, of course, contouring and highlighting does have its own effect, but when somebody sees you, the first thing they see is your eyes, and like the way your eyes are structured can literally make or break your makeup look. You can look, really nice and snatched, or very droopy, very rounded. Like, it really depends on how you apply your liner. So yeah, I have a lot of tips. I wrote down a lot of tips. What I wrote down all the tips which came into my mind, which I use on a regular basis, and I wish somebody told me these things like right when I started. It would be very, 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 very useful. So yeah, let's get started. Okay guys, so like I told you, I'll be doing tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, etc. So on my right side, I'll be doing do's, things I like to do, things you're supposed to do, and things which work out well and look really nice, and like everybody knows what do's are. And on left side, I'm going to show you things which I'm not supposed to be doing. So I just add a little bit of brow pencil, a little bit of concealer on my eyes because I usually do add concealer on my lids before I go in with the liner. And I did not apply under eye concealer because like nobody cares, but I didn't apply because one, I'll just give you a quick tip. If you're somebody who's extremely intimidated by applying eyeliner and you really think like you cannot do it, then it's always better for you to first apply, like, do your eyes, apply the liner, and then in the end you do your base, so that if you mess up anything with your liner, you can kind of rub it off and then simply just redo that thing, or you can just wipe off whatever is messy, and then you can, once you go with your base, everything will be fine. I did not do it because I have to wipe my liner at least, I think, one time, two times, because I feel like I have few tips in mind which might require me to wipe it off once. So that's the reason I did not apply. Anyways, and for eyeliner today, we are going in with the Lakme Iconic Liner. Now I've been using this one a lot. I've mentioned this in my favorite hit list makeup also. It's really good. So this one is smudge proof. That means it's longer lasting. The applicator is really nice. We'll anyways get into it about like the liner in the later part of the video. But dude, this one is just rupees 250. That is so damn amazing, right? This video is sponsored by Lakme, and even if it's not sponsored, I would really like this one. This is just 50 bucks for 4.5 ml. So let's start off with the first tip. So if you always struggle to get same side of liner on both the sides and you're always intimidated to apply it, then this would be like one of the best things you can do. Take your bronzer or any light brown shade. What I always do is I do this especially if I'm doing like graphic liner and I don't know how the shade would turn out. Then sometimes I sketch it out and see if it looks nice, and then I go in with that. Take any bronzer and just take an angled brush, go in with the bronzer. So don't go in with a darker color because you have to again wipe it off. If it's bronzer, it kind of blends away. Just have to mark the area wherever you want to apply your liner. So I'm just going to spot my area. Let's say I want to apply my liner right there. But before drawing, let's step into the second step of our liner tips. So that would be that whenever you are doing a liner, always look into the mirror. Never ever close your eye. At least when you're sketching out the shape of your liner, that time definitely look into the mirror and see where your eye is, and then shape your liner according to the eye shape. If you close it, you don't understand how it looks because you are just seeing the shape when it's closed, and the minute it's open, it's not going to look the same, especially if you have hooded eyes. Hooded eyes are eyes which don't have a lot of lid space, and like if I look straight, you kind of see my lid a little bit, but hooded eyes don't have a lot of lid space. So if you apply a liner very randomly, when you close your eyes, when you open your eyes, you're not going to see it. So open your eyes first, mark out where you want, and then you can go ahead with your liner. So now on this side, I'm going to mark it with the bronzer and then go in with the liner, and on the other side I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to just take my bronzer. Now when I look straight, I like my wing to be lifted. I like my edge of the eye to be lifted. So I don't know if you can see that there is a brown shadow on my lid. It is very subtle. I just want that to know where my eyeliner has to be applied. So I just like look straight into the mirror, go across the shape. Especially I'm afraid where my wing is going to go. I'm going to just look straight, spot where I want it, draw a line, and then connect it, so that I know where exactly I want it and what shape I want it. Now on the left side, you can like, you know, definitely go in without like sketching it if you're very like, you know what you want. But that's just like one of the extra step you can do in case you can't do it really well. You know what, I think I should add a little bit of lipstick. I look very pale. Let me just add and come back. Alright, a bunch of lipsticks later, this is the shade we have. Now let's move on to eyeliner, and the eyeliner I'm going to use is the Lakme Iconic eyeliner. Like I said, this is just 250 rupees for 4.5 ml of product. It is very smudge proof, it is waterproof, it is long lasting. I'll show you it is waterproof in a couple of minutes later. It like damn waterproof. I'm like, 250 bucks? That's really nice. So for now, this range has just one color, which is a black. I really wish they come with more colors. So I'm going to take this and apply and show you how good it goes on, how easy it is. Now one more thing is, this liner is really good for somebody who has oily lids, because I know if you have oily lids, like every eyeliner just smudges, but trust me, this one stays on, it does not budge. So it's really good for somebody who has oily lids or somebody who has folded lids. Like, for a lot of people, the eyeliner kind of touches the lid, especially if you have hooded eyes. That's kind of also because you're doing your eyeliner eyeliner wrong, but also because your liner is not good enough for your eyes. So I'm just taking the applicator and I'm just removing off the extra part. So since I've already mapped out my shape, now I can close my eye and apply. But had I not mapped out my shape, I would kind of like close my eye and apply. But I'm just going to always, one more thing, yes, that comes to the third tip before applying my liner. Don't get annoyed. So whenever you apply your liner, now all the entire Instagram, I know, first wings it out and then draws the line, but I could never do that until recently. Even recently, sometimes when I do it, I mess it up. So I always suggest you to first start with the inner point. Do a very thin line, or you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But always start from here, map it out, and then do it. Because if you try to wing out your thing first only without even knowing the shape of your eye, and if you're a beginner, you have not figured out how to apply, then it doesn't come out well. So I'm just taking the liner. Hope you could see that. So yeah, one more thing is, make sure if your hands like shiver. My hands shiver a lot, so I always like have a stool near me, so where I can put like my hand support and then apply. So you can see I got such a thin application of liner very easily and very precisely, and it's like jet black. You don't have to go on over a liner 2-3 times. Now I'll just swatch this and show you. See, it's like intense black, like instantly. It does not bleed into the lines. Like, I'll show you once this dries down that it does not bleed into the lines at all. So next I'm just going to follow the same bronzy line I have. So that went on very quick and very nice, very like jet black. Didn't have to go on that twice. But you can see I messed up a little bit, and for that I do have a tip which I wanted to mention. So whenever you mess up with a liner, the best thing you can do is go in with your Q-tip. Now if it is wet, you can just generally go over it and smudge it off a little bit. So if it's still wet, the earbud does the work. You can see that I had just like messed up a little bit, so I cleaned it off. But if you do mess up, and the liner won't come off, because this one, if dries down, it's not moving. So at that point, you can just take a Q-tip, add a little bit of micellar water, go into that area and very precisely clean it off. So the next tip is, now when you look at my liner, when I look straight, it's beautiful, very beautifully winged. It looks nice, suits my eye shape, lifts my eye as well. But when I close it, you can see I didn't do a traditional. Let me just zoom you in. When I close my eye, you can see that I did a wing and I took it down a little and then I made that complete wing. I closed it, it's subtle, but when I open it, it's not even seen. So that's kind of like a bat wing eye of hooded eye which is going on. If you do want a tutorial of that, then let me know, I can do that separately. But this is something I do like a fake version, like a mini version of it for my eyes, because my eyes don't really need that much because I don't have hooded eyes. So now because I shaved everything very perfectly, it kind of came out well, it suits my eyes really well. But on the other side, like for me now, it's going to be easy, first of all because this liner, the brush is very precise, but I'm kind of going to mess up and show you because first mistake, don't close your eyes and do. So I'm just going to close my eyes and draw liner and hope to God that it's going to look good. So I'm going to draw outside like I told you, which you should not be doing. So this is how Instagram shows you that you should be doing. Do this wing, then connect everything. You see that, right? Like the minute I started going this later, I kind of messed it up already and got it very fat. I mean, it really, I'm not even kidding, when you start doing this, it keeps going on and on and on. Okay, let's say I always don't mess up the starting point, so let me just kind of take a Q-tip. So now I'm just going to take a Q-tip and clean off the starting point, just using some micellar water and just removing the starting point so that I kind of can make it a little bit smaller. See, it's still bad, right? I mean, this shape is not flattering. The wing is too fat, it does not elevate anything, it's just too strong and does not do anything for your eye, while this side is very precise, very small, very tiny, very nice, very beautiful, very sexy, and this side is like I'm a cow. Now because I told this shape is very nice and sexy, that doesn't mean you have to do this shape. So this brings to my another point, that do your eyeliner according to your eye shape. Don't see somebody else doing their liner and follow the same thing. So the one way to figure out which shape suits you best is to practice, like do different types of liners and see what works for you. One day night, just like sit and do multiple liners and just figure it out. Or else you can just always use your bronzer, figure randomly draw lines and see which looks best for you, and then the next time you do your makeup, you can always just carry along with the same liner shape. Okay, so one more thing which I forgot to mention, it's kind of like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to eyeliner, is stretching your eye. Do not stretch your eye. I know you think your fine lines require you to pull it and apply it, but no, 10 years down the lane, you're going to regret of the aging which happened because of you pulling your eye. And also the shape of the liner never comes out same if you pull your line, because your skin is stretching, and that's not how your skin is going to be once it's going to come back. So never ever stretch your eyeliner. Let me just demonstrate of how it's going to look if you stretch your eye and apply your liner. It's never going to look the same. This is just micellar water and Q-tip again. So the weird thing, like not a bad beard but a good beard, is that usually when you remove your liner, you become a panda, right? Everything becomes black, everything just smudges off. But this one kind of peels off, like how a glue would peel off. So it doesn't smudge, it basically doesn't create that ugly black cast on your eye. Even when you remove it, you can just remove that part, remove off that extra whatever is hanging, and then you're good to go. You don't have to wipe everything off because it just smeared everywhere while you remove it. Okay, now I'm going to apply my wing while stretching my eyelid, guys, and you're going to see how well it's going to look. I don't even know how people do this. How do you know the shape of it? I didn't expect it to be this bad. It was not intentional, I swear. What the hell? See, when I stretch it out, it kind of looks nice that the wing is there, it's looking really nice. But when I put it down, what the, like, I've had a day. I used to do this, so I know it. My wing always used to be this bad, and it used to be very, very horrible. Now I don't even know how to fix this thing. Anyway, we are going to leave that there. So next and last step is applying your concealer. Now applying your concealer, of course, in contouring, highlighting makes a huge difference. But even when you apply your liner and you kind of mess up your liner, concealer is the perfect way to do it. And that's one of the advantages to do your liner before you go in with your base, especially if you're a beginner. So one thing you can do is just, you know, take your concealer. You can take a flat brush. You can just use the direct the doe foot and do it, but I'm just going to use a flat brush. So I'm just going to take this flat brush and I'm just going to take that on my hand, a little bit of concealer, and you can nicely, you know, go precisely near it and cut it. So it's just going to, first of all, clear it up, like clean it up, and also it's going to create a lift if it can only focus on, it can also create a lift because the concealer is lighter than black. Obviously it's going to give your eyeliner a lot more definition and your eyes a lot more definition. So I just added a little more concealer and blended out that edges. Now you can clearly see that, you know, it's obviously more enhanced compared to this side. Now if I do apply concealer on this side, I can kind of clean it up a little more and enhance this, you know, liner a little more as well. But it's too horrible for me to even want to enhance the liner because it doesn't look good on my eyes at all. So yeah guys, those were my few tips and tricks for eyeliner. So before ending, I just quickly want to again give shout out for this iconic liner from Lakme. It is really iconic. Price point, smudge proof, waterproof. Yeah, let's just test the waterproof factor. So quickly, let's put water on it and see. I'm going to rub it a little bit. I'm rubbing hard, you guys. I told you it is waterproof, it is smudge proof. Definitely if you're like going to rub in hard, it's going to move because of the pressure of your finger, but other than that, it's going to be fine. So I do a little quick, you know, foxy liner right here as well. I do have a tutorial for it. You can see that this liner is actually really good to do that as well because of its like the precision. You know what, let me just quickly show you how easy it is to do a foxy liner with this liner as well. So quickly, like, you know, you can see how quickly it happens. I'm not going to edit this part. That's it. Now that's simple. What, it took me hardly 10 seconds or something. So, you know, it did not come fat or thick or something, very precise like I told you. So it's a very jet matte black liner. One suggestion I would give about this liner is that don't go overboard because one thing only has too much pigment. So if you go 2-3 layers, it's just going to become too much. It's not only this liner, with any liner that would be the case. If it's going to give pigment, then just one swipe is enough. If it's, you know, gets too much, then it might be a little heavy on your eye, so don't do that. Now all these products will be linked in the description, and that's it for this video. I really hope you like this video. I'm too zoomed in, I think, but I'm lazy to kind of push it out and zoom out. But yeah, I hope you really liked this video, and if you did, then make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.